Initial licensing periods may vary in length and will be dependent on when your application is received at the Real Estate Commission in relation to your birth date. Your licensing period will always end at 5 p.m. Mountain Time on the last day of your birth month for your licensing period. After your initial licensing period, all licensing periods will be 2 years. You will need to remember if your license will expire on odd or even years, your license will always expire at 5 p.m. Mountain Time on the last day of your birth month. A salesperson may renew their license on active or inactive status. If they wish to renew their license on active status, they will need to complete 12 hours of continuing education elective credits and 2 commission core classes. For their first renewal, that 12 hours must consist of post-license education. For subsequent licensing periods, they may choose whatever 12 hours of continuing education elective credit they wish. If a salesperson wishes to renew their license on inactive status, no continuing education is required to renew their license on inactive status. However, all continuing education requirements must be met prior to placing their license back on active status. If this is the first activation outside of their initial licensing period, they will need to complete 12 hours of post-license education and 2 commission core classes. If they renewed their license on active status for their current licensing period, no education is required to activate the license. If they renewed their license on inactive status for the current licensing period, they will need to consider if the license has been activated yet within this licensing period. If it has, no education is required. If they have not, they will need to complete 12 hours of continuing education elective credit and 2 commission core classes. Post-license education must consist of one course entitled Post-License Fundamentals. This is an 8-hour course. You have your choice for your remaining 4 hours. You may take Post-License Pricing, Marketing, and Advertising, or Post-License Professionalism, Negotiations, and Closings, or Post-License Introduction to Commercial Real Estate. All education must be completed at the time of renewal. Brokers wishing to renew their license on active status must also complete 12 hours of continuing education elective credit and 2 commission core classes. Brokers that wish to renew their license on inactive status do not need to complete any education. However, once they wish to activate their license again, they will need to complete all required education prior to activating their license. If a broker is currently on inactive status and wishes to place their license on active status, they will want to review how they last renewed their license. If they renewed their license on active status, there is no additional education required at this time. If they last renewed their license on inactive status, they will want to review if they've had an activation this current licensing period. If they have, no additional continuing education is required. If they have not activated their license after an inactive renewal, they will need to complete 2 commission core classes and 12 hours of continuing education elective credit.